is a Pocket Watcher classic.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, welcome to Pocket Watching with JT. I am certified financial planner Jason Thornton. I specialize in tax and wealth planning for my clients. But on YouTube, I react to your money questions, bad financial advice, and scammer news. Now, tonight, if you've been paying attention to what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks, we have been going over the scammers that pop up on the popular Urban Finance podcast. One of the issues that I have and other people also have is that these podcasts, they're not properly vetting their guests. I'm not sure if there's an issue with getting the right type of producers. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but there seems to be a pattern of a lot of sketchy people getting on podcasts and being able to gain an audience that these podcasts build up. And me, along with others, we believe that these podcasts have a higher obligation, a responsibility to their audience to better vet the people that they put before. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of these people have popped up on Earn Your Leisure. Now, they are the biggest urban finance podcast probably in the world. So obviously, if the overall industry of these finance podcasts have an issue with vetting their guests, then clearly the biggest brand in the space, Earn Your Leisure, is probably going to have the most sketchy people on their podcast, just based on the fact that they have that much of the space. You know, they have that much market share when it comes to urban finance podcasts. All right. So listen, I don't want anybody saying that JT's picking on Earn Your Leisure. I'm not the bully. I'm the little guy. I've got 75,000 subscribers. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the content. But some of y'all are acting like I'm the bully. I'm not. I'm an extremely petty financial advisor who does not like seeing people jump on platforms and act as if they know about personal finance. Act as if they know about investing, when all of us professionals know they're speaking what we refer to as financial gibberish. They know the buzzwords. They know what they need to say to get your attention. They'll talk about generational wealth. They'll say it's time for you to run the play. But in reality, what they say doesn't make sense. So I'm an extremely petty financial advisor. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not your superhero. I'm not perfect, but I can sniff out the grift when I hear it. So let's see who's on the Summer Jam screen tonight. Tonight, let's bring up a guest who was on Earn Your Leisure. I believe it was Market Mondays. Now, who is this guy on the screen? This is Frederic Dacruz Badji. I believe he is an African immigrant. He's an African immigrant based out of New York. Now, this particular gentleman, he was on Market Mondays, episode 74. This episode was a live streamed episode, and it premiered October 4th, 2021. All right. Now, on October 4th, 2021, that's when the episode aired. Now, Ian Dunlap, who is a featured person on this podcast, he re-uploaded the interview with Frederic on his YouTube channel just a few days later on October the 9th, 2021. So here we have it. Frederic Dacruz Badji on Market Monday. I'm going to pull up the video clip so you can see who the hell this guy is, or at least according to him, who he is.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, guys. I'm here. Hey,
I
thank you,
appreciate
man.
you.
Thank you for having me on the show, guys. As Ian said, I'm a huge fan. You know, I've been following the show ever since it started. And you guys really are doing an amazing job. So I just wanted to start by saying that, you know, and just say hello to everyone who's listening. And I hope, you know, my informations and, you know, my little knowledge will be beneficial
A
to
little
someone.
knowledge.
And
Nice.
I am in New York,
Okay.
and, you know, I just finished working. I just came back from my office. So Ian wanted me to really come and join the show. And I was really honored, you know, by the invitation.
Can you
Because,
tell the
as I
good people
said,
what you do?
yeah, so I am a senior managing director at Guggenheim Partners. Prior to that, I was at Morgan Stanley. I also work for JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Citigroup. So I've been in the financial industry for over 9 years now.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, welcome to Market Mondays, brother.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
I
you.
appreciate you guys. I appreciate you very well. Yes, I would suggest, because I have been listening to you guys for over a year now, I would suggest to anybody that is listening to sign up to the On Your Leisure University, and I would suggest them to sign up with Iron Classes, because I'm telling you that these guys know what they're talking about. Otherwise, I would not be here, because
And he's not getting paid to say that.
I'm putting everything I've worked for on the line. I don't know this guy. I've never met them. And I'm telling you that if you listening right now, I don't care how much it costs, which is information that you're getting are penny compared to what they like are giving you. I would say, please go and sign up.
All right, now listen, that was pretty impressive. Guy had an extremely impressive resume. The cosign that he gave to both Earn Your Leisure and Ian Dunlap, he basically said, listen, it doesn't matter how much these guys' courses cost. It's pennies compared to what you actually get in value. Great recommendation, especially when you consider that Ian Dunlap's course is like $30,000 or $40,000. Like one of his courses is like $40,000. So that's an extremely positive review from a guy with an absolute stellar resume, right? So let's just take a look at this here, just to make sure I'm not tripping. Let's take a look at this here. So pay attention to the dates. The dates are very, very important. This episode aired October 4th, 2021. Pay attention to the dates. All right, here we go. So let's look at this a little bit more. Frederic Dacruz Badji says he held very important positions in Fortune 500 companies such as Madison Square Garden, MetLife, U.S. Bank, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, Guggenheim Partners, AMP Capitals, JP Morgan, BlackRock, Meta is Facebook. Impressive. Now, as you see, I have highlighted there this Guggenheim Partners. The reason why I have that highlighted is because this is the company that he said he worked for during that interview. During that interview, he said he worked for Guggenheim Partners. As you see, Guggenheim Partners is a global investment and advisory firm with more than $300 billion in assets under management. It is extremely impressive, right? Extremely impressive. We're not talking about some small mom and pop, financial advisor. Not like me. I've got a small office. I'm just what you would refer to. I'm a small city country financial advisor. I'm not one of those big, slick Wall Street financial advisors. Small time fella. Just a small time certified financial planner. I deal with average, everyday, middle class, maybe upper middle class clients. Small time. This company right here, big time. Huge company, huge clients, talking about billions of dollars. Very impressive, very impressive. Now, when I saw this, I had a few questions. I didn't quite understand how he could be working for this very impressive financial firm in October of 2021. Very, very weird situation here. How the hell could he be working for this investment firm October of 2021 when we see here, let's put it on the big screen, we see here that this brother has some issues. All right? Brother has some issues here. We see incarceration, April 2015, March 2016, October 2016, November 2016, August 2017, January 2019, September 2019. Now, I want you to pay attention to one particular date. This date right here, January the 28th, 2019. I think this is a very important date. Now, you see, this was a date that he got arrested, but it's very important because this particular arrest is tied to an ongoing case. Now, just follow me for a second. Follow me. I want you to pay attention here. So, on January 28th, 2019, something happened. Let's take a look and see what happened. It looks as if Frederic was arrested January 28th, 2019. What was he arrested for? What was the case about? Seems as if he had a D felony, third-degree robbery. Third-degree robbery. Now, some of you may say, well, JT, listen, could have been a mix-up, right? Could have been a mix-up. He could have got arrested for this, but he cleaned it up. And in October of 2021, he was all good. You know, you're just picking, once again, the bully, Pocket Watching with JT with his 75,000 subs. I'm bullying EYL, who has over 1 million subs. Stop bullying those guys. All right, okay. But let's look at this. He was arrested for this robbery January the 28th, 2019. Let's take a look and see what happened with the case. What happened with the case? It looks as if his first trial date was October the 11th, 2019. Roughly 2 years before he did this interview. He still has enough time to clean up his life. I know what you're saying. Listen, I'm with you. I'm hoping for the best, right? You got to prepare for the worst, but I'm hoping for the best for this brother. I'm not trying to profile him. I'm not trying to say he couldn't have cleaned his life up or something. There was some sort of mix-up. But once again, we have to follow the dates. Let's just follow the dates. Now, his very first trial date was October the 11th, 2019. What happened? All right, if we follow this, we see trial, October the 11th, 2019. Trial. It keeps going. Trial. All the way through 2019 up to 2020. Trial. Now remember, COVID's going on. A lot of court cases got pushed back. There was a lot of issues with getting court cases and trying to figure out how to do it. Doing court through Zoom. A lot of things got put on pause. So trial. He's still in trial on April the 7th, 2021. Still in trial. All right, not done yet. Let's keep going. He's still on trial June the 3rd, 2021. He's still on trial July the 20th, 2021. He is still on trial August the 23rd, 2021. I want you to see this. I have it highlighted in the red box. It looks as if his last day at trial before he does the interview. Pay attention to the dates here, people. Pay attention to the dates. He goes to trial August the 23rd, 2021. It says he's released on his own recognizance. Basically, he's let to go. It's like he goes to trial, say, go ahead, just come back to trial. He comes back to trial November 10th, 2021. What are you saying, JT? I'm saying during the time that he is doing this interview, he's actively on trial for being a grifter. Pay attention. While he's saying that he has this stellar resume, he works for one of the biggest investment firms in the world. He is actively in trial. How? Listen, I just don't understand how he could be actively on trial, but yet and still good standing member of this investment firm. That's not how it works. Just to let you guys know. It's not how it works. They would have let him go. But okay. Maybe everything cleared up. Okay. Maybe, it was a misunderstanding. Everything got cleared up. There was just a confusion. Maybe it was another guy and it wasn't him, right? And they figured that out in trial. So let's see what happened with the trial. Looks as if after he does the interview, because he does the interview October 4th, 2021. On November the 10th, 2021, he goes to trial. Then he goes to trial one last time, January the 24th, 2022. The next thing we see is that on April the 7th, 2022, he has sentencing. Well, listen, like I said, I'm just a small city country certified financial planner. I'm not one of these slick Wall Street boys. But I do know that if you have a trial, then there's sentencing, something bad happened. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Many of you may not be involved with court and litigation and criminal proceedings, so let me explain. If one day you're on trial when you go to court, and then at a later date you have sentencing, that means you lost. Might be new to you, but if you go on trial one day, then the next time you go in the courtroom, they're sentencing you. You lost. All right, so let's see what's happening. Just to stay focused here. Now, remember, we're still dealing with issues with COVID, court, and whatnot. Sentencing, a bunch of different things that are being pushed back. Now, some of you may be asking, well, JT, if all of this is real, where is Frederic right now? Where's Frederic? Maybe we could call up Frederic and figure out exactly what happened. I happen to know exactly where Frederic is. I'm not going to dox him. That would be ridiculous. I'm not going to give you his home address, but I know exactly where Frederic is. It's a matter of public record. According to public record, Frederic is currently housed at the Eric M. Taylor Center. He's in jail right now, awaiting his next court appearance, which is 10 days from now. In 10 days, on the 15th, I think he's probably going to be sentenced, and there's a good chance that he probably will also get deported from the United States. Now, what's the point? what's the point of all of this, JT? I mean, you made a lot of noise and you made a lot of, showed a lot of documents on the screen. What are you saying? I want to be extremely clear. I am not a private investigator. Okay? I'm not Batman on these YouTube streets. I don't have any type of special detective skills. This came by the way of Google. If they would have simply typed his name into Google, they would have saw that the man that they were bigging up, the man that they hyped up on their show, was actively on trial for a felony. Actively. I have to believe at some point they found out that the guy that they bigged up on Market Monday was actually a grifter. Someone that was actively on trial and lost at trial. How do I know that they know, or at least that they were notified? It's because the person who gave me this story gave it to them. They posted on the actual videos explaining what happened. I was told that those posts were deleted. They put the post on Earn Your Leisure's channel, deleted. They put the post on Ian Dunlap's channel, deleted. This is according to the person who sent me all this information. It just comes to be a pattern of behavior. When they are notified, I'm not saying they're responsible for this guy grifting. No. The point that I'm making is after they find out that someone is grifting, the lack of action is disturbing. All right. Now, let me summarize exactly how this story came to the Pocket Watch. While this guy was out on bail, dealing with this trial, he got both romantically and in a business with a particular young lady. And he was able to convince this young lady that if she was to invest $3,500 with him, he would be able to give her a huge return. Now, this young lady is not naive. She owns her own business. I have the receipts. I have the screenshots and everything. She gave this man $3,500 because he showed her his social proof. He showed her evidence that he was what he said he was. What he showed her was the episode of Market Monday with Earn Your Leisure. This young lady, just like anybody else who would watch that episode, she assumed that Earn Your Leisure actually did their due diligence and looked up the guy that they brought on their show. She said to herself, well, if this huge podcast would have this man on their show, and I'm telling you, after this show is over, go over there and look at the video. Watch how they just cheerlead this man and build this man up as if he is one of the greatest investors in the world. How privileged they felt that he would even come on their podcast. That type of hyping up, that type of promoting is convincing to an audience that trusts you. So she's convinced by the fact that he's co-signed by Earn Your Leisure and Ian Dunlap. She said that when they're out on dates, he's actively text messaging and calling and talking to Ian Dunlap. All right, this is what she's telling me. So she sends him the $3,500, supposed to get this huge return. And obviously, y'all know what happened. No return, no money, no investment. Thank God that she was able to go to her bank. The bank did an investigation and she was able to get her money back. But the problem is during the time between he did that interview and today when he's locked up awaiting his sentence, how many more people did he get? How many more people was he hustling? How many more people did he show that interview to convince them that he was a stand-up guy that they should invest with? That's the power of the internet. That's the power of the influence that these podcasts have. The question should be, what are they doing with their influence? How responsible are they being with that influence? And based on all of the evidence that I have, the responsibility is almost at zero. Zero. Now, I'm telling you, go watch these podcasts because I have a feeling they'll probably be down very soon. Go watch these podcasts. Let them know that Pocket Watching with JT sent you and see how long that show is still up. Because I got a feeling Ian's probably going to take his down and EYL will probably take theirs down. But will they actually address the fact that someone reached out to them, told them that the guy that they were interviewing on that show scammed them, and they did virtually nothing? Didn't reach out to her to see if any of her accusations had any type of documentation to it, which she did. She had ample documentation. Don't know. We don't know. So once again, I'm not the bully. I'm the little guy. I'm the little guy. They got millions of subs. Little guy. All I do is react to things that are obviously fraudulent. And I'm asking them, listen, simply vet your guests. And when you discover that there is a grifter on your platform, don't just take the video down and walk away and act like nothing happened. Speak up. Say something, because you could be helping others. All right, now listen, no calls tonight. I got a lot of work to do. I'll do a show later this week. We'll do a call-in show. If you have a money question or a business question, you'll be able to call in and I'll react to your question. I'll try to help you out in your situation. I will look real quick through the chat if y'all have any questions in the chat, but we're going to wrap this thing up. Hey, shouts out to Thriving in Alaska. Thank you so much. Says, hold these suckers accountable and keep doing what you doing, bro. You're helping more people than you can imagine. Thank you. Listen, once again, I'm not a hero. I'm no one special. I'm an extremely petty certified financial planner that doesn't like people getting online acting as if they know about personal finance when really they're just making it up as they go. All right. So listen, thank you guys for watching this very special episode. Shouts out to the Artful Sages in the building. We were warned. Then some of us forgot the warning. Listen, it is what it is. Just take it for what it's worth. When you guys watch these finance podcasts, when they're interviewing celebrities, cool. But when they're interviewing someone you've never heard before, they've got something to sell, some course, some mastermind, whatever, it's all just entertainment. When they tell you, I started off with $500, now I have $5 million, it's all entertainment, right? Don't think that it's reality. It's fake. It's for clicks and views. Most of these guys have never had a legitimate business until they got on some sort of podcast. Oh, look who we got in the building. We got What Happened to Common Sense, my brother. Listen, if y'all are not subscribed to Eli, I don't know what y'all doing. Moderators, please put Eli's link in the chat. All right. Subscribe to What Happened to Common Sense. I want to be clear because some of y'all don't know the relationship between me and Eli. Eli has been doing videos covering people like Umar Johnson, Jay Morrison, Brother Polite. He's been doing these videos long before I even had a YouTube channel. I was subscribed to him long before I even had a channel. All right. So if you want to hear from someone who's extremely technical and someone who's been doing this long before it's even popular, now it's popular. See, 4 or 5 years ago, you couldn't whisper something bad about Jay Morrison without all of his fans coming down on you. I tried it when I had an Instagram with 600 followers, and not only did all of the Jay Morrison fans come after me, his wife jumped in my DMs talking crazy, and she was unhappy with me just basically saying what Jay Morrison is saying about tax strategies is really tax evasion. But now the environment is a little easier to do content like this. But Eli's been doing it for a super long time. So go and support my brother and subscribe to Eli's channel. Also, we got Philip Sadiq, one of the hardworking moderators in the building. Thank you. So what is your scam story? Oh, okay. All right. What is my scam story? So someone asked me a question, I believe on my community page, and they asked me, hey, JT, have you ever been scammed, or are you too smart to be scammed? I'm not too smart to be scammed. I've been scammed. So I'll tell my scam story real quick. So I haven't been scammed since college, because I've studied a lot of this stuff, and I'm extremely skeptical. But as far as being scammed, man, it's tough. So I've never really been super scammed out of money, because during the time that I would have been scammed out of money, I didn't have any money, right? So when I was younger, I didn't have a whole lot of money to quote unquote be scammed, because I didn't have it. But there is one particular situation that happened. So here we go. I got recruited along with my best friend to play football at a school. And this particular recruiter was like rah. This is a guy that would leave messages on my phone. And we're talking about before cell phones were popping like this. He would leave messages on your home phone just saying how excited that he wants you at this school, that you could be a superstar at this school. And he would really soup you up. So he convinces me and my best friend to go to this particular school. We get there, suited, booted, first day of football practice, ready to go. We're looking around for the guy who recruited us. We don't see him. So it was like, oh, well, you know, maybe he'll be here tomorrow or something. We get to a team meeting that night, and the head coach stands up, and he announces to everyone that this particular person who recruited us, he took a job with another school. He took that job months before school started. Months before school started. They could have told us then that the guy who recruited us wasn't going to be there. They decided to wait until we were actually there to explain what happened. Now, y'all may not think of that as being scammed, but that's one of the biggest scams that I felt like I ever had, because we showed up, no one really knew our names. Our names was on the list, but like we would talk to coaches, they didn't know what school we was from. They had no idea about, our playing style. They were just like, all right, well, grab a jersey and walk over there. That taught me very early. You cannot rely on anybody. Don't rely on anybody. You always have to double check. I should have been calling the school, double checking, making sure that the person who made all these promises to me was actually going to be there. So might not be the scam story you want to hear, but that's really the only scam story I got. All right, we got S. Wright in the building. Thank you so much for the super chat. We have Hassan Malik. It says, it's your guys from Jersey. So this guy is the EYL's George Santos. Listen, all they had to do was Google this man's name. It's not rocket science. If they would have Googled his name, they would have saw he was actively on trial as a grifter, actively on trial. You just got to care. That's all. We got D in the building, says smoke 'em, JT. And we have Business Talk with K, my brother. Listen, K's another person who I was subscribed to, I think, before I had a YouTube channel. So go check out K Business Podcast. This is another person who I was subscribed to before I had a channel. Go check him out. I enjoy his talks. I enjoy his content. All right, that's it. I'll be back later this week. We will do a call-in show later this week. I'm going to be, most likely, unless a new story pops up, I'm going to be covering the basketball wives, British Williams, and her multiple fraud counts that she pled guilty to. We're going to cover that story, and we're going to take your phone calls. So I will be back later this week. Thank you guys so much for joining. I would ask you guys, listen, when you see people on a podcast that you never heard before, be a little skeptical. Most of them are talking BS. Most of them have no idea how to actually help you. They're looking for a bag. It doesn't matter the cosign that the host gives, because I trust you. After things blow up, they're going to say you should have done your own due diligence. So if you should have done your due diligence, it doesn't matter the cosign that they give. Ignore it. It doesn't mean anything. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Just a quick live stream to show you the pattern of behavior of how it works in Urban Finance Podcast. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. I will see you later.
Are you looking for real financial advice? Thornton Financial is here to help. Certified financial planner Jason Thornton specializes in tax and wealth planning. Are you living paycheck to paycheck with no retirement plan? Do you need help with the IRS? Book your free consultation with Thornton Financial today. Budgeting, savings, debt management, and retirement. Even tax debt settlements. Get the advice you need to live your best life. Book your free consultation appointment today. Go to www.thornton-financial.com.